guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Ange, and today I'm going to be doing a review, which I haven't done in a long time. I'm going to be reviewing For the Wolf by Hannah Whitten. So this was published in June of this year. It's called For the Wolf, and it looks and seems like it's going to be a Red Riding Hood retelling. It sounds like it's gonna be, her name is Redaris, but they call her Red. And basically what this is about is that there is this kingdom, and anytime that the royal family has more than two daughters, then the first daughter is for the throne, so she will be trained to be a queen and all that, but the second daughter is for the wolf. Red is the second daughter in a century, maybe more than a century, I don't quite remember. And so she has to be sacrificed to the wolf when she's 20. So all her life she's raised to be a sacrifice for the wolf. So she knows this. Her sister, Nevara, who they call Neve, has been trained to be a queen. When Red turns 20, they sacrifice her to the Wilderwood. So it's like this enchanted forest near their kingdom. And that is where the wolf resides and has lived. So Red is sacrificed, and everyone just thinks that she is there and has died and is no longer alive, until Neve is talking to one of these priestesses, and they're saying, oh, she's actually alive, but we can help you, bring her back. So Red is alive, and she meets the wolf, and I'm going to tell you this now because it was something that disappointed me. It's not really, it is kind of a spoiler. It depends on what you would consider a spoiler. The wolf is not a physical wolf. It's not a dog. It's not an animal. It's not a shapeshifter. It is a man. And wolf is actually just another word for warden. So he is the warden of the Wilderwood. So if you're expecting an actual Red Riding Hood retelling, you're going to be disappointed, because this acts more like a Beauty and the Beast retelling than it does a Red Riding Hood retelling, which I was a little disappointed in, because I was really hoping to be a Red Riding Hood, because I've never read any Red Riding Hood retellings, and so I was really, really hoping that this was going to be one, and it kind of let me down a little bit. So our main character, Red, is in the wood. She meets the wolf, whose name is Emin, and he has magic, and what he's trying to do, everyone thinks that he is a bad guy, when in reality he's just trying to keep the Wilderwood at bay and trying not to release these shadow people and from the Shadowlands. But the people of the village, they sacrifice a second daughter to the wolf because they're trying to bring back their 5 kings, who have you find out stuff about them later, so I won't say anything now. But basically, they're thinking, oh, let's sacrifice Red and see if she can barter for the 5 kings. So that's the basis of this story. We get to meet a couple more characters who are in the Wilderwood with Emin, and I really like them. I liked Emin a lot. I really, really liked him. There is a little romance in this, but it is pretty slow burn, but it got good. This is also the first of, I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy, a duology, or a series, but this is the first, and the next one comes out, I don't know when, but it's called For the Throne. And at the end of this one, there was a chapter of it, so I did read it. And I think I'd like to continue reading it. I haven't given you guys any of my ratings or thoughts on it yet, but that is what this is. And it's very folklory, it's very detailed, and honestly, it is almost exactly like Uprooted by Naomi Novik. If you like this, you're gonna like this, because they're very, very, very similar. The magic to doing with the trees and the earth magic, it's all very similar. I think his name's the dragon in this. Yeah, the dragon keeps the wood's dark forces at bay is what it says on the back of this. That's literally what this is kind of like, because Emin is keeping these Shadowlands from destroying the Wilderwood. So it's very, very, very similar. And even like kind of the romance, and like in this, there's a daughter from a village that goes to live with the dragon for however many years, and then in this, they sacrifice a daughter to go to the Wilderwood with this wolf. So it's like parallels. They were very, very similar. So if you like kind of that earthy magic and these kind of stories, like definitely check out this one, or this one, vice versa, if you haven't read it. And so because of that, I gave it a 4-star. I did enjoy it. But same with like Uprooted, the magic in the... I don't really love earth magic a whole lot. Like, that's not really my favorite type of thing. So I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. And I didn't just like it. So I gave it 4 stars. I definitely do think I want to read the second book. We'll see. For those of you who have read Naomi Novik's writing, like, you know her writing takes some getting used to and is a little different. This was like a smidgen easier to read, in my opinion. I found the magic to be a little more understandable. I was able to kind of enjoy that more and actually understand it. And there weren't any like weird made up words like there are. Well, maybe there might be a couple, but not quite like Uprooted. So the reading is really good. There are things that I didn't like about this. And the first thing I didn't like about this was so the main point of view is read. So like there'll be like chapters, and it just says like chapter 1, chapter 2, it's whatever. But kind of more towards the beginning, there were these interludes, and I did not like those. So there are these Valley Dan interludes, and Valley Dan is the kingdom, and there were different interludes, and I didn't like it. It went back to her sister Neve, and her point of view, and we're kind of learning what they're trying to do to get Red back. And there are these 2 guys that they grew up with, they're friends with. Red had a past with one of them, and Neve had a past with one of them, and they're trying to get her back, and it's just like really messy, and I genuinely just didn't like it. So every time I got to that part, I just didn't want to keep reading. Like, I just wanted to put it down, find a different book. I didn't want to read. And so it was kind of hard to get through for that reason. But that was really the main thing I didn't enjoy. It wasn't actually too predictable, which was nice. I enjoyed that it wasn't predictable. So, but everything else was so great. Like, that's really the only quarrel I have with this book. So when it's back to Red's perspective, and she's in the Wilderwood, and she is with Emin and the other 2 people at the keep, like, I really enjoyed that, and I really wanted to keep reading, and I wanted the romance to build, and I wanted the characters to build, and the friendships and the relationships. Like, I really, really liked that. I liked learning about the magic. I liked the trees. It was interesting, and it was cool, and I liked reading it. But then I'd go back to Valley Dan, and I just did not like it. Okay, I apologize. My camera died, and we're using my phone now because all my batteries are dead for my camera. So we are here. I apologize. I don't even remember what the last thing I said about this was. I'm hoping that it didn't die too early. I can't even check. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm just going to repeat a couple things, and if I am repeating them, whatever. Anyway, I did not like her sister. She just was too, not whiny, but just like whiny might be a word for it. I don't know. I just did not like her. I was not here for her. I did not like her character. I still don't like her character, but I'm thinking the second book she's going to get better, and I'm actually looking forward to that because I think there's going to be a huge character development, huge character arc for her because of something that happened at the end of this book. And I do look forward to that. There's a lot of political behind the scenes type stuff going on too. So like there's no king, but their mom is the queen and has never been warm towards her children, never really showed them affection. And so stuff kind of happens. There's some priestess political stuff that happens because there are a bunch of high priestesses, and then there's the high priestess, and one of the priestesses, gosh, that's a weird word to say, wants that high priestess position. So there's just like a bunch of confusing stuff, and I didn't like it. I don't love political books, and I feel like this was a little more on the political end, not like too crazy, but there was a lot of earth magic, a lot of like forest monsters, if that's kind of your thing. I just have a hard time. I don't do a whole lot of like forced imagination type stuff. Like, it's just not how my brain works. I don't care for it as much. But I don't know what else to say about this. I think that's pretty much it. I did enjoy it, but I mainly enjoyed the main character's point of view and when she was at the keep with Emin. I don't know. The story, I felt like, moved really slowly. I feel like there wasn't much of a story. Like, just... It's kind of similar with this one. They're so similar. It's kind of, like, eerie. The pacing was slow for me. So I struggled through this book. It took me quite a while to read it. I'm not gonna lie. But it's also similar to Uprooted in the fact that, like, after I finished it and I sat there and I thought about what the book was about and what happened, I was like, oh, I enjoyed that more than I thought I did, which is exactly how I felt with this. Like, this was a very interesting book to me. And the more I think about it, the more I enjoy it. And so I'm kind of thinking this is along the same lines. We'll see. The second book, I think, is going to get much darker. This is categorized as a dark fantasy, which I didn't realize. It didn't seem super dark to me. I guess I could understand why it'd be dark, but it didn't seem as dark to me as some of the books I've read. So I think the next one is going to get a little darker just based on the first chapter of, like, the preview chapter that this one had. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, that is pretty much all I've got on this one. I'm glad I read it. I was a little disappointed. I mainly read it because this cover is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. But I wanted a little bit more of a Red Riding Hood retelling and a, like, actual, like, I didn't care if it was like a normal wolf, if it was a shapeshifter, if it was like, I don't know. I just wanted a wolf. I wanted like an actual Red Riding Hood retelling, and I did not get that from this. So I'm a little disappointed in that. But if you enjoy Beauty and the Beast retellings, it's a good book for that. If you enjoy Uprooted, it's a good book for that. But for me, it wasn't a miss, but it wasn't like a hit either. So, I mean, I still gave it 4 stars. The writing was great. And as the story got towards the end, it got a lot better and I enjoyed it a lot more. So that's where I'm at with this. This was a chaotic review. I do apologize. I'm not good at reviews. I don't do them that often, but I do want to do them a little bit more. Oh, one more thing about this. I think on Goodreads, if you go to Goodreads and you look at this book, I think it says for fans of Uprooted, which makes sense, and for fans of The Bird and the Nightingale. Shoot, I should look that up. I don't know. I think that The Bear and the Nightingale, something like that. Something in the Nightingale. So if you've read that book, then For the Wolf would be good for you as well, I think. So anyway, that's that. This was chaotic. Have you read this book? Do you like retellings, fairy tale retellings? Have you read any Red Riding Hood retellings? Please, if you have, put them in the comments because I'm really looking for a good Red Riding Hood retelling. I don't have any. I've never read one. I don't even know if I've ever seen one. Please let me know. I would be eternally grateful. I would love that. But yeah, otherwise, what's your favorite fairy tale retelling? Do you like Beauty and the Beast? Do you like, I don't know if there's many Sleeping Beauties, Cinderella's, just Snow White? Let me know. Let me know. I want to know. But that is all I have for this video. If you want to follow me on anything else, I am on Instagram and Goodreads, and I will link those below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It means the world from the bottom of my heart. I thank you if you do. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!